What's up, YouTube? Thanks for tuning in to JT Tactical and checking out our channel. Today's video is all about buddy gear. What is it? Who's it for? What's it comprised of? When are we going to use it? All that good stuff. So we're going to discuss that today. I have a couple examples here of buddy gear that I've put together, and we're going to dive right into it. So the idea of buddy gear is, I think, a very good idea for anybody who has already put together their own kit, has already put together a small stockpile of ammo, food, whatever else. Basically, this is the last thing you should worry about, but I still think it's a good idea to get to eventually if you have the means. So, well, what is it? What do I mean when I say buddy gear? Basically, it's a small kit of gear that you have on hand to give away. If we're in an SHTF situation and I come across somebody, I'm with my group of people that I've prepared with, and I come across somebody random, they probably won't have as much as we do. They'll probably be in need of some help. And my philosophy is I don't allow people to join my ranks, generally speaking, because I don't know you. I don't know how much of a liability you may be. Even if you are an asset, you can still be a liability. And I can't trust people that I don't know. And in that situation, my main goal is keeping my people safe. So I can't be adding to my group all the time. There are some exceptions. I won't get into that because it's just my view on things. But generally speaking, I'm not going to let somebody else join my group. However, I don't want to turn them away empty-handed. So, buddy gear. I've adapted this concept a little bit. For the most part, if I'm turning somebody away, the only thing I'm going to send them with is maybe a couple water bottles, maybe enough food for one day, just some calories to get them through. That's it. No gear, nothing special. I'm expecting, however, to also come into contact with people that I think they would probably be an asset to my group. However, like I said, I cannot immediately invite them into our ranks until I trust them. So that's where this type of gear comes into play. If I am at the point where I've met somebody, I want to help them, I think they can help us, I'm going to vet them first. I'm going to get to know them for a while. Maybe let them travel with us and kind of fend for themselves. If we're already hunkered down in an area, maybe allow them to stay somewhere close by where we can keep an eye on them, but they are still self-sufficient. That is when I would be willing to give away one of these kits. I have a few like this, which we'll go over here in a second. I intend to do a completely separate video on, I have a couple complete loadouts that I have stored away as buddy gear, and those have a different purpose, so I will go over that in a different video. But for now, here's two examples of the buddy gear I have put together. All the gear is exactly the same, they're just a slightly different setup, so I have them both here to show you some ideas, and then we'll just take one of them apart, which there's not much here, so it won't take long. So this one over here is a MOLLE system. As you can see, there's a canteen. This is like an admin pouch, an IFAK, and another small admin pouch, and it's on a MOLLE cummerbund type belt. This setup over here is somewhat different. This is on an actual tactical, like pistol style belt or a duty belt. This has some of the old web gear that has Alice clips on it, if you're familiar with those. But once again, we have two admin pouches, a canteen, then over here we have my first aid kit. As you can see, the gear doesn't all match. We have different colors here. We have different colors here. It's not the best gear out there. This stuff is old. This is... Pretty sure this specific pouch is from Vietnam. So, any web gear is pretty old. But it works, and I had it laying around. I didn't go buy any of this setup specifically for buddy gear. I put this together with stuff that I had laying around the house, my extras. At one time, I worked in private security, and this was my duty belt when I started. It's not the best belt out there. It's kind of poor quality, but it gets the job done. When I bought a new, nicer belt that was better quality, I hung on to this. And now I found a use for it. So don't get rid of any of your old gear. I have a big gray tote that I throw all my extra gear into. And every once in a while, maybe once a month, once every couple months, I'll go through it just to see what I have on hand. And sometimes, like I put these together, both of these kits I put together the same day. I had to go buy a couple extra things. I spent maybe $20 and I have 2 complete kits. It's just that easy. I'm going to pull this one apart now. I'm going to set this one off to the side. Like I said, they're exactly the same gear, just a slightly different setup. So first off, we have a complete IFAK here. Very obviously marked as a first aid kit. So this is exactly like the first aid kit that I carry on my chest rig. I did a complete video just on the contents of my IFAK, so I'm not going to get into that here. If you're interested in that, please go check out that video. Over here, the small admin pouch. We have just a cheap $1 flashlight, a compass, a cheap $1 pocket knife, and 2 lighters. That's it. That's all that's in that pouch. These 3 objects, the flashlight, the knife, and the compass, you can get them at Walmart for a couple bucks each. Flashlight and the knife are each $1. The compass, I think, is $3 or $4. And I happen to have a whole tub full of these flashlights. I have tubs full of lighters. And I had 6 or 7 extra of these compasses. And so I just grabbed those items and threw them into this pouch. Did the same thing with my other kit. Over here, in this admin pouch, it's not very full because my thought is the person that I'm handing this to will probably have some items that he likes to carry that I'm not providing, so he can throw them in here. All I have in here is the setup for a radio. You have the radio and the antenna. Here's a brand new earpiece and microphone for it. And the charger. I threw it all in here. I do keep these radios charged. Once a month I test all my radios. I make sure they're all fully charged. And I do field tests with them. I should probably do it more often, to be completely honest. But I digress. So that's all that's in here. And back here, obviously, we have the canteen. And this is the biggest item I had to purchase for the buddy kits, was water purification tablets. I believe these specific ones are $7 for this pair at Walmart. And so I had to buy a set of that for each of my buddy kits. But there you have it. They have source of water, way to clean it if they need to. They have medical taken care of. They have communication taken care of. And they have light taken care of. They have a cutting tool. They have a compass. And they have lighters to make a fire. Everything you need in a basic survival kit is right here. Once again, this is for people that I am vetting people that I'm getting to know that are working on earning my trust. So they're not part of my group yet, but they might be eventually. That is the reason that I give them a cutting tool. Because people that I don't know, I'm not going to trust them with a weapon. Not if they know where me and my people are. That's for sure. So that right there, the fact that I'm giving them a small cutting tool, proves that I've already learned to trust them at least a little bit. Same thing with the radio. That's what I carry on my chest rig. That's what all my people carry, is that same radio. That's so they can communicate with us, because once again, they're not bunkered down with us. They're not moving with our group. They're not part of our group yet, but I want to stay in contact with them so that eventually they might be part of our group. And trust me when I say, if I hand this to somebody, I have no problem taking it back, demanding it back. I might let them keep the water, but the rest of it, I will take back if they lose my trust. If I need to cut them off, I can take it back, refill what they've used or anything, and hand it to the next person that comes along. That's the idea behind these kits, is to keep them simple, to keep them cheap, because I'm not going to pour money into this, but I still want it to be efficient, and I still want it to be enough to sustain somebody, at least for a little bit, or to help them sustain themselves is a better way of saying it. Like I said earlier, I have a couple complete loadouts that I have built and that I'm still actually in the process of building a few more, with the eventual intention of handing them out to other people if need be. But that is for another video, for another day. So if you have any questions or comments about buddy gear, when should we hand it out, who should we give it to, that type of stuff, hit me up in the comments and let's have a conversation about it. That's it for today. Thank you for watching our latest video here at JT Tactical, and we will see you next time.